Get to know. I'll be with you with a new one every day. From my new place, meeting people on the way. Get to know America.
What is going on, everybody? I'm here at the foothills of the Berkshire Mountains in Ridgefield, Connecticut. It's Mark Pires, and it's Get to Know America. Before we get started, remember, we have a brand new YouTube page, so make sure you like, subscribe, and share. So Ridgefield, Connecticut. What can we learn about Ridgefield while we're here? So one of the really great attractions they have here in Ridgefield is the Ridgefield Playhouse. You see over my shoulder, Wynton Marsalis will be playing here soon. I'm here in front of the Prospector Theater. I'm in Ridgefield. We're kind of seeing if we can make our way around. This is in downtown here. This is a very special organization, a 501c3 nonprofit. And what they do actually is they provide employment for people with special needs. 75% of their workforce has a special need. You guys know the rules. If we find a Berkshire Hathaway office wherever we're shooting, we have to at least do one quick video there. Remind you, I'm a real estate agent during the day, so shoot me a message if you need help anywhere in Connecticut or New York. Let's keep making our way down the road and see what else we can find out here in Ridgefield, Connecticut. All right, so we're here in Ballard Park. This is in downtown Ridgefield, across from the library, right down the road from the Prospector. And they have music here. I know they have a concert series each year. Ridgefield is definitely gonna have to have a second part because I have not had one person join me on the air. So stay tuned for the next Get to Know America. I will get a second part here from Ridgefield, Connecticut. Well, I'm back. It's a beautiful day here in Ridgefield, Connecticut. It's Get to Know America. I'm gonna walk us again through this town. I didn't get a chance to show you everything yesterday. Look at these shops. This is just such an adorable little area. Families walking around, lots of little restaurants, and not a bad place to call home. How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Good. Can I trouble you to, I'm just a question, but I'm doing a show called Get to Know America. I did Greenwich, New Canaan, Fairfield, Westport, and I'm trying to get anybody on to talk about what they love about Ridgefield. Do you have any interest?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was your name anyway?
Bill.
Bill?
Austrian.
Mark Pires. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Mark, did you talk to Rudy?
No.
First selectman?
No, is he in the office there?
Yeah.
So maybe I could go over and talk to him too.
No, he'd love to. He's a great guy.
So we're at the town hall right now. I'm with Rudy Marconi, who's the first selectman, and we're in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and this is Get to Know America. I just wanted to get a little insight from you. How long have you been in Ridgefield?
Quite a few years. I was born here.
You were, so you've been your entire life in Ridgefield.
So far.
Wow,
Yeah.
You know what? I love
I
that.
took a break during college, and you go out into the business world, you come back to the hometown you love, and that's where I am.
So guys, when you're going into a town and you're trying to figure out the details and find the goodness that's really in that town, you find someone who's been there their entire life or comes back to it.
Mm-hmm.
New Canaan, all these towns are like that. I find people who go away for college, maybe they spend a few years elsewhere, but they wind up coming back to home.
Eventually, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good stability. It's a great place to raise kids. We're family oriented. We offer an excellent quality education. We have a great thriving downtown, athletic programs, a great rec center, et cetera. You name it, we have it here, and a thriving arts and culture.
Absolutely.
Ridgefield was just named #1 cultural destination, the first ever in the state of Connecticut.
So if you were to send me anywhere else in Ridgefield right now to get some more color for this video, where should I go? And Battle of Ridgefield, is that, I know there's a monument.
Place, the end of April. Yeah,
It
the
did.
monument's not quite a quarter of a mile.
Straight down the road here?
Yeah,
Okay.
on the right.
Okay.
There's a headstone there commemorating that. And then the house in that area is where the 4 skeletal remains were found of Revolutionary War soldiers.
You're saying that they found 4 deceased soldiers?
Yeah, the family was actually in a construction project to put a bathroom in their basement. And in order to do so, they had to go a little deeper.
I see.
In order to put a pump in. And while hand digging down, the laborers, employers found a couple of bones, and they would throw them, wonder what this is, threw it. Then the owner came in, and the owner of the contractor, and looked at it and said, "What is this?" He said, "I don't know, we're finding all these bones." He said, Stop right now." And they called in the state, making a long story short, state archaeologists, and they set up a whole dig in this basement, and they found not only where they were digging, but they found 3 additional remains of soldiers. It's an incredible discovery.
Yeah.
It's the only, to my knowledge, the only Revolutionary War remains that have been found in the state of Connecticut.
Would there ever be an area where I'd be able to like possibly find a bullet or anything like? Or you're like, oh, this is the field where it took place.
The Ridgefield Historical Society may have something. We're in the middle of a federal grant right now to study the possibility of creating an actual battlefield like they have at Gettysburg.
Oh
A
wow,
formal declaration, yes.
that's
And
amazing.
that study's going on. They'll be starting the actual physical discovery part on private properties, asking for permission if they can come on and with metal detectors, etc. See
what's there.
GPR, ground penetrating radar, that they'll do to see any depressions in the soil. So that's actually what they use for the discovery of the remaining skeletal remains.
They use the ground penetrating radar.
Right, you could see
That's
where
very
the
effective.
earth was disturbed.
Yeah.
Layers.
Oh, you have footage of it? That would be amazing. I can include it. That would actually be
Yeah,
really
I'd
nice to
love
show. Yeah, because you know, I think that there's so much culture that we don't know about, especially
So right here.
yeah, right here. And what's happening in the mainstream media these days is they don't seem like they want us to find happiness and
that
find
seems
these
the state
towns.
of affairs today with
Yeah.
media. It's what's happening right now. and
Polarizing, right?
Tomorrow, that's gone. Tomorrow is something else, and the demand is always tell me what's happening now.
Yeah,
now.
so true.
And we're losing that historical reference completely in journalism, and it's a shame. I
It's
think.
such a shame, especially
because you don't get to tell the stories.
no
And there's
stories
so
anymore.
many.
And the
Yeah.
stories that are told aren't true anymore because it's more about getting likes and getting a response.
I mean, no one checks the facts.
Yeah, no one checks the facts. And you
Get
know
it
what?
out there.
History, as far as I'm concerned, history should remain. You don't ever change history because
That's right.
if you remove or cancel history, then what do you have to learn from? You can't do the same things wrong again, but you will do them wrong again if you cancel it and then no one knows it happened. And that's what seems to be going on with everything, which is very scary. And that's part of the reason why I started the show, is to get people to remember that there is still a heart to this country. And so
Absolutely.
I'm going to go town by town, meeting with people. It's about what makes these towns tick. And I think today, Rudy, you really gave me some gems. So I
Yeah,
can't thank you
yeah.
enough.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you very much. So guys, that was amazing, having a conversation with the first selectman, Rudy Marconi, sharing some details about the town of Ridgefield, but also lifelong resident. And what about the soldiers they found in the basement? That is something. I'm standing here in front of the Aldrich Contemporary Art Museum in Ridgefield. We're right in downtown still, so you could take a nice saunter down the road here to the art museum. And there's all these other buildings here. I'm not sure if you could see over here, but it almost looks like they could have an outdoor concert here. Like this is set up like an amphitheater. So the Aldrich, really cool place. They're not open right now, unfortunately, so we're not gonna be able to get in today, but it's here in downtown Ridgefield, Connecticut. The Battle of Ridgefield took place in 1777. I'm here in front of the Historical Society in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Let's go inside and see if they have any relics.
Get to know America.
Hi, how are you? I'm Mark Pires. I'm doing a show called Get to Know America, and I'm in Ridgefield today.
Oh my gosh, here, hold on.
I just talked to Rudy in town.
This gentleman is doing Get to Know America. Yeah. Okay, so what do you need from us?
Well, I just thought maybe you could come on and tell me a couple things. Like I found out, obviously, the Battle of Ridgefield in 1777 is a huge detail.
Yes.
I wanted to get something about that on the show. And I thought since you have the Historical Society here, maybe you could share a couple of historical details about Ridgefield. Maybe it'd be something I could add into the show.
Let's also get Betsy. Get Betsy. Yeah,
Should I come inside or out here? What's better?
Whatever you
It's very dark in here. You can just
Okay.
look in if you like.
I'm wondering maybe I could just get the camera to take a peek at what's in there so we can show off some of the history. I did Greenwich, New Canaan. I did Greenwich, New Canaan, Westport, and Fairfield so far.
Okay.
And I'm getting a little more in depth as each time I go. They're getting longer and longer. You know, I went out and did this real estate thing about the market, and then I started talking to someone on the street, and then this happened.
Right.
You know, there's this idea where we weren't able to speak for 2 years. You know,
Right.
now this going into these small towns or all towns and sharing what makes America great, what makes people love the towns they live in.
Right.
We forgot about that the last couple of years. People are buying on a whim because they want to get out of cities. That's going to change.
Right.
And I was told Rudy that. I said, look, as a realtor, I know what's coming in the next couple months.
Right.
So we have to now sell Ridgefield again. You know, sell New Canaan, sell Fairfield, sell Connecticut. Because as a realtor, prior to the pandemic, nobody was buying any homes. This has been great for Connecticut, but once it goes back to normal, we're going to have trouble getting people to want to come out and be here over during places with better taxes, etc. So this is really, I think, what the start of the show is. And I'm meeting really great people along the way and giving me some insights. So anything you can share, if you have like a bullet from the war, anything like that I could show. You know, history is, again, something that I think we need to really be exploring more of instead of, you know, there's a lot of people wanting to forget about the history, but this is beautiful stuff that happened. And we learn from things like this.
We have a vault downstairs that has 10,000 plus items that are from the very earliest days of Ridgefield to present day.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Collects all of that. And then our job is really, to preserve and share that. So obviously the Revolution gets a ton, but we're doing a Native American unit later this year. And then we'll do, the Gilded Age unit. There's just because every era has been rich in its own way.
Yeah.
Do you know about the bones?
I heard about it. That's what Rudy was telling me about that.
So that was found in the basement of one of the homes on Main Street.
History comes to life.
Right.
But that's how long were they there? 300 years? 250?
That's the belief.
Yeah.
Wow.
They think they were soldiers, so that's what they have to confirm.
Right.
Unless something shady may have happened.
Well,
back
that
in
was
the day.
the first is like you check with the local police.
Yeah,
it's
like-
just in a modern day.
Yeah.
Four people were disappeared in like
Right,
1928.
exactly.
The mobsters were driving through that day.
Right.
History.
Every day.
Oh, it was a pleasure to meet you both. Hopefully I'll see you live on the air sometime.
All right.
I'm here in front of Keeler Tavern. They told us about a cannonball on the wall. I'd love to see it. I don't think that they're here. I don't think we can get in to see that today, but I'm going to go and knock and see if there's any chance. Let's go check it out. Let's take a look at this history. The Keeler Tavern served as headquarters for the Patriots during the Battle of Ridgefield, April 27th, 1777. It is now owned by the Keeler Tavern Preservation Society and maintained as an historical building. So April 27th, 1777, the Patriots' headquarters right here at Keeler Tavern in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Well, it looks like we did it again. Ridgefield, Connecticut. In the books here at Get to Know America. Remember, I'll be visiting a new city every day, meeting the folks that make it tick. So if you have a business or a town you'd like featured on Get to Know America, shoot me a DM below. Make sure you subscribe to our brand new Get to Know America YouTube page. It's Mark Pires. And this is Get to Know America.
Get to know